Trump tells Netanyahu Iran nuclear talks must continue. U.S. President Donald Trump said nothing definitive was agreed but that he had insisted talks with Iran continue during a meeting with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on Wednesday. The two leaders met at the White House as tensions continue to rise across the Middle East and negotiations intensify over curbing Iran's nuclear weapons program. Netanyahu was expected to press Trump to pursue a deal that would not only halt Iran's uranium enrichment, but cut its ballistic missile program and support for proxy groups like Hamas and Hezbollah. Iran has suggested it is ready to limit its nuclear program in return for sanctions relief, but has rejected the other demands. Ahead of the White House meeting, Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian warned his country would not yield to their excessive demands. Netanyahu's visit marks his sixth trip to the U.S. since Trump's return to office, more than any other world leader. The Israeli Prime Minister was brought in through a side entrance for the closed-door meeting on Wednesday. In a post on Truth Social afterwards, Trump said the meeting between the leaders had been very good. There was nothing definitive reached other than I insisted that negotiations with Iran continue to see whether or not a deal can be consummated, he said. He added a deal was his preference, but if one could not be reached, we will just have to see what the outcome will be. Netanyahu's office said the leaders had discussed the security needs of the State of Israel in the context of the negotiations and agreed to continue their close coordination and relationship. A close Trump ally, Netanyahu has long argued that Iran represents an existential security threat to Israel and has pushed the U.S. to curb Tehran's influence in the region. The Prime Minister believes that any negotiations must include limiting ballistic missiles and ending support for the Iranian axis, Netanyahu's office said in a statement ahead of his trip. After arriving in Washington on Tuesday, Netanyahu met Trump's special envoy Steve Witkoff and son-in-law Jared Kushner. The pair provided an update on the first round of negotiations they held with Iran last Friday, according to the Prime Minister's office. Netanyahu's visit comes as the U.S. increases its military presence in the Middle East, with Trump warning Tehran of strikes if it fails to reach a deal on its nuclear program and to stop killing protesters. On Tuesday, the president said that he was thinking about sending a second aircraft carrier strike group to the Middle East. The USS Abraham Lincoln carrier strike group was sent to the region last month after Trump threatened to strike Iran to stop a government crackdown on mass protests in which thousands of people were killed. "We have an armada that is heading there and another one might be going," Trump said in an interview with Axios. He said Iran wants to make a deal very badly, adding that a diplomatic solution remained possible. Trump told Fox Business that a good deal would mean no nuclear weapons, no missiles. In a speech at a rally in Tehran on Wednesday marking the 47th anniversary of Iran's Islamic Revolution, Pezeshkian said our Iran will not yield in the face of aggression, but we are continuing dialogue with all our strength with neighboring countries in order to establish peace and tranquility in the region. The Iranian president also reiterated that his country was not seeking to acquire nuclear weapons. "We have stated this repeatedly and are ready for any verification," he added. Israeli officials have also said their country reserves the right to take military action against Iran if it does not reach a nuclear agreement with the U.S. Netanyahu is under pressure from far-right allies in his government to use his ties to Trump to push for a wide-ranging U.S.-Iran deal that meets the Israeli government's security concerns, experts say. Israel is concerned that in the haste to get a deal,